How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a story for you about a TikTok girl who kept bragging to her class about her following, but then there's a bit of a twist to the story and she gets absolutely roasted. And honestly, man, it was a pretty great story when I heard it and I just had to tell you guys. And if you don't want to get roasted in front of your entire class, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Make sure to turn on the notifications or you probably won't see the story time videos. And also, if you leave a like on this video right now, you will receive absolutely nothing in return. I know, I'm just feeling pretty generous today. And with that being said, let's get into the story. So my friend, let's call him Matt, he goes to school and, TikTok is popular with his friends, as it is honestly with everyone. I mean, the thing is, as much as I've, gone off on TikTok on this channel, I still use it myself. I know, like, some people might say I'm a hypocrite, man, but hey, bro, sometimes those videos are just really good. Sometimes the algorithm that really just knows way too much about you also knows exactly what you want to see. And, sometimes I'm bored. It is what it is. But anyways, right. So Matt, he goes to school and in his class, there's one girl who is quote unquote TikTok famous. Right. So this girl has about 15,000 followers on TikTok. And, the thing is, that is a decent number of followers, right? 15,000 is a lot of people. These are not bots too. They're most likely real people. So, 15,000, that's a big number. That's respectable. Personally, me, if you're out there and you're grinding and you get some followers, man, like, I respect that. You put in the work. But also, I think it is important to remember that, just because you have some followers on the internet, yeah, if you want to tell someone about it, that's cool. But just, really don't make that, a personality trait. Don't make that your entire thing. Live your life, bro. It doesn't really matter in the big picture. And especially, on TikTok, I don't want to say, getting 15,000 followers isn't a big deal, as it is, but, a lot of people have 15,000 or plus followers on TikTok. It is what it is, man. Anyways, right, so the story goes like this. This girl who, what should we call her? Let's call this girl Margaret, right? So Margaret, every day in my friend's class, would be like, guys, I just hit 9,585 followers today. This is so crazy. And she would say this every day. She'd give a daily update. And let me just say that there's nothing really wrong with if you make an accomplishment and maybe that's on some kind of social platform and you're getting a following, there's nothing wrong to be wow, that's crazy. I just got, X number of views on a video, or I now just hit X number of subscribers. Or if someone asks you, you can say the real number. I don't really like to talk about at my school or with my friends that much. Maybe I'll bring it up, or if it's in discussion, sure. But most of the time I try to not talk about it. But if someone asks me, I'm not going to lie and tell them a lower number. But anyways, Margaret was basically giving my friend's class a daily update every single day they got there. And the first couple times they're okay, that's cool, whatever, that's nice and all. But then after 20 days in, bro, they're okay, man, if we really wanted to know, we could just look up your TikTok. It's not that hard. We know what it is. Some of us even because we want to support you, some of us are even following it. We don't need to hear about it every single day, the first thing we hear when we go into class. And the thing is, if she was just giving a daily update every single day, as annoying as that was, it could be at least bearable. It could be managed. It would be annoying, but people would be all right, that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. She's just going to update us with her follower count every single day. And by the way, she wasn't going up 10,000 followers a day. She was going up 50 or something, which is 50 new followers per day is a big deal. Right now, my channel's not gaining a ton of new people every day. So I don't know, I'm getting 50 to 100 every day. I'm chilling with that. I feel pretty grateful, but it's not something that I would update people every single day. And even if I was getting 10,000 followers a day, I wouldn't go to my class and be hey guys, guess what my subscriber count is? I don't know, bro. Even I know that saying it more than once or twice, people are going to get really annoyed. So while that was annoying, that was still pretty bearable. But basically, right, it gets worse, man. It gets worse. That could have been dealt with. But basically, I kind of forgot what exactly the class was, what exact subject matter, history, English, social studies, I don't even know. So I forgot what the exact class, my friend said it was. But basically, for some reason during that class, the whole idea of the concept of LA lifestyle came up. And when that came up, Margaret was very quick to say, like, oh, yeah, that's going to be me. Like, I am currently on path to, like, living in Hollywood, living in, like, the hills, man. Like, I am just famous like that. And I'm, like, I'm very close. Like, I should honestly be looking at buying plane tickets and finding, like, people to rent a house up there with. Because at the rate that I'm growing, like, it would really be a mistake for me to even stay in school much longer. And let me just say a quick thing to that. Like, look, just get an education. In a lot of cases, it makes a lot of sense, especially if you're in high school. Because at the time of this happening, my friend was still in high school, right? And this is what she was saying. Just at least get your high school education at a minimum. Like, even if you got a really good opportunity, at least finish high school. In a lot of cases, like, going to college makes sense. Like, and I don't say, like, you have to go to a super expensive or a super good one, but, like, especially, like, if you can get, like, a really good price, like, on a college that's, like, okay, at least get that degree, man. Like, it makes sense most of the time, especially if you have 10,000 followers on TikTok and you're getting, like, 50 a day. Do not quit school to go to Hollywood. This is a PSA from the Connor Pugs channel. Do not do that. And later that day, or not later that day, later in that class, after she kind of made that set of comments, it was like towards the end of the period, and like people were kind of just chilling there. Like the teacher wanted to kind of just like keep them until the bell, because the bell was going out in like a couple of minutes, but he didn't really have anything else to like teach them that day. So my friend was kind of hanging out with his friends, but he was close enough to Margaret and her friends. And someone went up to Margaret, like, hey, do you want to hang out later today? And she responds to them with this, basically. She says, oh, like, I'm going to be really busy filming TikToks. Let me ask my assistant if I have time to fit that in. And she sends a text to a random person. And after that, my friend was like, bro, Margaret has really just gone off the rails. And, like, she said that loud enough, and I honestly think that, like, my friend thinks that, like, Margaret thinks that, like, that she said it loud enough for people to hear, because she wanted people to hear her say that, bro. Margaret was on a different planet. So after that happened, my friend and some of his classmates decided to like stay together a little bit after class, because they had a bit of a break before they had some other obligation afterwards. So him and like a few of his friends kind of stuck together, and they're like, okay, right, this is kind of insane. Margaret's really just gone off the rails at this point. Like, she's got to be stopped, or at least humbled. Like, we all know that she's a good person, right? Or at least she was, but she probably still is, right? She's probably just going through a phase. And honestly, like, they're like, okay, we gotta intervene somehow. We gotta have some kind of intervention before she actually unironically goes to Hollywood and like drops out of high school because she has 10,000 followers on TikTok or something. Like, they're like, for her own sake, because we are her friend, we actually need to do something about this. So this is when one guy who was with the group of my friend and his friends, who like was kind of newer to their friend group, so like he was chill, they had good conversations, but they just didn't know much about him. Basically what happened was he was there and he kind of spoke up. He was like, hey, I actually have an idea. And they're like, what's your idea? And he was like, so here's the thing. I don't really like to talk about this because I don't really like bringing attention to it, but I play Call of Duty and I'm pretty good at it. And I kind of I record my gameplay and I clip my best moments and I put it on TikTok. And I actually have 30,000 followers on TikTok. I'm sorry to interrupt this video real quick, but if you made it this far into the video, which all of you guys have if you're listening to this, I'd like you to comment down below apple, like the thing that you eat, the fruit, apple. I'd like you to comment apple down below. I just want to see how many people made it this far into the video, and also I will be hearting as many of those comments as I can. So if you want to farm hearts on the channel and get top commenter, go ahead and do that. Right, so back to the story. My friend and his friends and are listening to this guy. Let's call him Ben. Let's give him a last name too. His last name will be Dover. I'm just kidding. Anyways, right, so Ben explains to them that he has an idea, and while he's not like super comfortable with it, he is willing to do it because like he's seeing the same thing, and he's like, yeah, Margaret's completely out of control. She's a nice girl. She's been nice to me. And he explains to them that like what he's willing to do is he's basically willing to, next time that Margaret speaks about her follower count, that he's willing to be like, oh, you know what, like that's cool and all, look at my followers. And he said like, yeah, that's kind of like a kind of an annoying thing to do, but he says like it might be just what she needs. Anyway, so the next day rolls around, right? And so you get to class, they're all kind of sitting there, and my friends and his friends kind of look over to Ben, and Ben kind of looks back at them like, all right, like, you know, it's a go. It's a go if she says something, but I'm not going to say it if she doesn't say anything, right? So class begins, and as always, on cue, basically, Margaret gives them the daily update. She now has 11,000 followers, as opposed from yesterday where she had 10,942. And I know this exactly because my friend was told this exactly by Margaret the day before. Right, so after Margaret says that she has 11,000 followers, she begins to go on this kind of whole, like, how last night she looked at houses in, LA, and she's already planning out where she's going to stay because she's on the track to getting famous. And as she's in the middle of saying that, the new guy, Ben, right, my friend's new friend, he stands up and says, I have an update for you guys. Everyone kind of looks back because Ben was a quiet kid. Ben then goes, I just hit 30,000 followers on TikTok. The whole class kind of looks at him like, what did you say? Because, right, Ben's a quiet kid. He doesn't really say anything. And also, he's not been updating them every day about every movement in their TikTok following. And Margaret, her head, like, snaps around. She looks at him, and she's like, what did you say? Like, how many followers? And she's like, oh, okay, I don't believe you. Like, prove it. Like, you don't have 30,000 followers. Show me the account. So then, Ben's like, all right, like, I play Call of Duty. Some of you might know that, some of you might not. I don't really talk about that, but yeah, I'm pretty decent at the game, and I, record the gameplay, and I clip the highlights, and I put it on there, and yeah, here's my account. So Ben takes out his phone, opens up TikTok. He's on his, like, personal account where he looks at videos, and then he, like, shows that he just switches to his 30K account. He opens it up. He says, see, here it is. He kind of, like, refreshes the page a little bit. And then Margaret looks at his phone, takes his phone, sees videos with, like, a couple thousand views, but then some with, like, millions of views, and sees that Ben was not lying. And then she's like, oh, good for you. And she says it with, like, kind of like a cracked, broken, like, voice when she's saying that. And fast forward, like, for the next couple weeks, Margaret doesn't give updates anymore. She doesn't give updates on her TikTok following. My friend did follow Margaret on TikTok in the beginning, and he still follows her, so he has seen that she keeps on posting, and she actually has around, like, 20,000 followers now. She hasn't, like, exploded in fame, but she's still, she's kept it up. But ever since that day, she doesn't speak about, her followers every day. She doesn't speak about wanting to live in LA or how she's going to live the LA lifestyle and how she's, like, going to be, like, how she has to book her assistant, like, if you want to hang out with her, to her friends anymore. So she still grinded on the platform. She still posted. But basically, right, all that extra nonsense was perfectly wiped away when my friend was like, you know what, you're not the only one here. It isn't special. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, consider watching another story video. Some videos will appear on screen right now, or you can always click on the channel. There's also a playlist just dedicated to storytime videos. It will be in the top, it'll either be on screen or in the top right corner, or it'll also be first link in the description, so go ahead and watch that if you have nothing better to do. That being said, see you guys in the next one. Peace.